This is going to be our fall clean out. And so what I'm going to do is take out all the bedding in here and clean it out and replace the bedding, put some lime in here, get it all ready for a deep fill for fall going into winter. So first thing that I like to do is make sure I have all my supplies ready. I've got some buckets of warm water that has some vinegar in it. I'm just using some vinegar in there. And I've got my large dustpan, my small dustpan, my brush, a plastic shovel. If you have, we have a vinyl on the bottom of our chicken coop here. And so you want to make sure you don't use a metal shovel that's going to destroy that. So I've got a plastic shovel, but quite honestly, there's not that much bedding in there. I'll probably just use the scoops. Some towels for wiping it down. I'm going to scrub the perches and I'll just wipe them down, let them dry a little bit. I got my wheelbarrow all ready, and outside the fence here, I'm going to go back out here and show you this. Okay, I decided to bring all the supplies in so I don't need to be going in and out of the gate, especially since it's so windy and it's flying open and I got to keep it shut so the chicks don't get out. But anyways, this is the bedding that I use. The one on the left is this Marth. This is pellets, and I think it's aspen pellets, I believe. I checked on that before. And this one is Tractor Supply's pellets, and it is pine. They don't have any chemicals in them. They're biodegradable, no scents in them or anything. And I really like how they work out in the coop. They stay clean and not dusty, and then they start breaking down, and I will show you when I get done with supplies here about the breakdown. But they're easy to clean up with and everything, so I really like those in the chicken coop. I also use those in my bunny litter boxes too. All right, and then I've got my lime, which I keep in these buckets with lids on them so that I can keep them fresh and they don't get all moisture in them or anything like that with the lids on them. And so I really like this Saturday lime. I know I've talked about this a lot. And I just really like it. It's clean. It does a really good job. I like the company, family-owned company. So anyways, that's my first Saturday lime. Then I've got some zeolite. I keep that over here. And so I've got, okay, this is the one that I have, Coop Refresher PDZ. All right. So that's the zeolite I have, which is just a natural mineral that absorbs toxins, and it also deodorizes. I don't use that as frequently. I use the lime much more frequently, and then I'm putting this in now, like I'm cleaning out the coop, so I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. But this Saturday lime works so good that that's the one that I use most frequently. And when I say frequently, I say, I don't know, once a month I probably sprinkle some in there. And then I've got my nesting pads, which I really like these nesting pads. They are also biodegradable, grown in US, aspen, again, liners, and they're compostable. Just really like those. The chickens seem to like them as well. They're not expensive, and I can just throw those in the compost too. Okay, and then I've just got a couple of old towels, and because I'm going to wipe down, scrub the perches and wipe them down. Plastic shovel, the scoops. I've got the buckets of water here, and I got my wheelbarrow. Oh, and don't forget dust mask, because it gets dusty in there. And what usually happens is I get in there and I forget about it, and then I gotta start all over again. And my gloves. I've got some gloves, and I've got my cutter knife for cutting the bags open. So that's my number one thing, is to always have my supplies ready, so once I get going it can be a quick job. When Bob built this coop, we built it so that the wheelbarrow could pull right up here, and I can shovel everything to the end and then easily put it in the wheelbarrow. So that works out really nicely. So I was just going to show you that that door open. I'll scrub down like the doors and such too here, and this whole entryway thing. So this is my cleaning before winter. So I do a deep cleaning like this in the coop. I'll show you the chickens while I'm talking here. They're out scratching around. I gave them some scratch to occupy them while I was bringing big things in the door. So I do my deep cleaning like this spring and fall, and I did that in April. And we've had this, we started this coop not this summer but the summer before. It's when I first got the chickens. So we did a deep cleaning last fall, again in the spring, and now I'm doing it again this fall. So this is the third one that I've done, and it just works out so well. This whole thing with the bedding works out so well. So I know a lot of people do deep litter where they put the deep litter in and then they just keep hoeing it around and creating a nice compost in there. And I kind of started doing that, and then I just kind of realized, like, especially I think we got to winter and it's like those just freeze on the top. Yeah, they're not composted because they're frozen balls. So I started just kind of scooping them into the bucket in the morning and throwing them in the compost pile. And I've just continued to do that because I just take my garden hoe and I just hoe underneath the perch here. And that's where they poop, is under the perch. And I just hold that forward. And then I use my little scooper, my cat litter scooper, and my dustpan and pick them up and throw them in the bucket. It probably takes me 10 minutes in the morning. And I can use my hoe to scrape off the top of the perch as well. And then there's still plenty of stuff that's in there for, you know, microbiome and everything. And it's all going in my compost anyway. So that's the way I do it. It stays clean, it stays fresh, it doesn't get stinky. And that's the way I like to do it. Now, we have this extra perch in here, which I'm going to take out right now. And that was an addition because of our new chicks that I got this spring. And they were huddling in the corner here when they first came in to the coop. And so Bob built them a little perch of their own. And now, April, who is, I got to show you April because she is such a gal here. She was the biggest chicken until Blossom, who's right next to her, the brown one, came along. But April, she is just big and solid, and she's supposed to be a rainbow chicken. I don't really even know what that means. I've tried to look that up. But anyways, she is just like this kind chicken that, you know, like kind of takes care of everybody. Like, she was the first one to lay an egg, and then when the other ones were starting to lay, she would be like right by the nesting boxes, like she was coaching them along. It was really very interesting to watch. And so when we got the new chicks and we brought them in with the flock, when I introduced them to the flock, sure enough, April was the one that was kind of watching over them. And so then when we brought them into the coop, some of the other chicks were kind of sitting up on their perch glaring at them, and April would sit by them. So we put that perch in there, and April sat on the perch next to them. Now, I looked last night when I came down here, and it was dark out, and I looked in the door. And some of them are sitting on the perch with the other chickens, but April is still on here with a couple of the new chicks. So that's pretty cute. So here's, I hope you can see in here, but here is this is now more broken down. As you can see, this is over April, May, June, July, August, September, or it's middle of October. So this is 6 months of time. Over by the nesting boxes, it's not broken down so much because, you know, they don't scratch and stuff over there like they do by the perch here. And then their food hangs on this chain right here. And so, and then their water is right here. So that's where they kind of scratch around. So what I've been doing now, I'm going to say, like, I don't know, the last month I knew, the last couple of months, but the last month I knew I was going to clean out in the fall. So I haven't been adding. I probably added 2 bags this summer over the course of the 6-month summer or whatever. And now what I've been doing is taking and pulling over with my hoe or with my dustpan or whatever from this side over here that's not broken down, and just bringing it underneath the perch and right up here where it is more broken down as I'm losing bedding over here, because it's pretty shallow now. Like, I can get right down to the bottom here now, and I'm going to be filling it up quite a bit. So here's the vinyl on the side, and I'm going to be filling it up quite a bit. So it's kind of gone down as it's either even broken down, or that's Iris right there. Hi, Iris. She's the shyest chicken. As it's broken down through the scratching and through me removing debris. So, okay, so that's kind of how our coop is run. So, what I do, like I said, is I scrape off the bench in the morning, or the perches in the morning, scrape the poop from underneath them, put it in the bucket to compost. If it gets low in here, then I'll add a bag or a half a bag or whatever underneath the perches. I put the Saturday lime in, I'm going to say once a month. Okay, I put the Saturday lime in once a month. If it starts getting stinkier, I would do that. I put it on the perches as well. But I mean, really, it just keeps it so nice in here. The nesting boxes, I'm going to check those out. And I haven't gathered any eggs yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to check them out. And then I did just recently replace those nesting box things, but I will check and see what kind of shape they're in, if they're still clean and all that. If they are, I'm just going to add some lime to them because I did just replace them recently. So Big Girl Blossom looks like she's going to go in and lay an egg right now. We do have the vinyl flooring strips on the bottom of the nesting boxes as well, just to keep them clean and make it easy to keep it clean so that the wood doesn't, you know, go bad or whatever. So okay, so and we don't have it painted in here. It's just painted on the back wall because we attached this onto the goat barn. So you know, it just got attached on and used that wall. So we'll let the little chickies do their thing. I'm gonna start scraping this up. I'll take some pictures and some video along the way, and I'll time how long it takes me because it doesn't take all that long. Got Daisy and Iris here that are supervising. They're used to me messing around in their coop, so they don't really care, but they feel like they need to be put in action here. So I just wanted to show you in the back. I'm in the bath now cleaning out, and like this stuff is not really broken down at all. So if it was earlier in the year and I didn't want to do the total clean out where I wipe things down with vinegar and stuff like that, I would be shifting this over to underneath the perch end, and I need to use it because it's clean. It's like hardly touched, and you know, it's usable yet. So, but since this is like winter's coming, I want to get everything out and sterilize everything. It took me 20 minutes to take all the compost out. I'm sorry, the bedding out, and to sweep all the dust up. There's a little bit of dust on there, and kind of clean off the perches a little bit more. So next step now is I'm gonna wipe it down with some vinegar water. So I'm gonna do that next. Okay, so I've got everything cleaned out. I have the vinyl scrubbed off with vinegar water. I've got the perches scrubbed off, scrubbed in with a brush with vinegar water, towel dried everything with just a towel, and cleaned off the doors so they're all nice and clean. So now I'm just gonna let this dry for a few minutes. This has taken me about 50 minutes so far. And then I'm going to start putting the bedding back in. And I just wanted to mention that if you're building a coop, and like we did, and of course not knowing what we were doing because this is our first chicken experience, but just trying to think of what would work out for us in our climate that we have here in mid Minnesota, but it gets very cold. We also have heat in the summer. So we did put this vinyl on the ground here because we had a wood floor. So if you're putting a wood floor in, highly recommend. It was just a remnant from Menards. Did not cost that much. And it is so nice because like in the winter now I'm going to put deep bedding in here. It can help keep the chickens warmer, but so easy to clean out. And now like I can wipe it down so easily. It just makes it really easier to keep clean, I think. So if you are building a coop with a wooden floor, highly suggest that. On the sides, we put this just a little bit of wood trim. Bob just split some boards and tacked that against the top of it just to give it a an edging so that it doesn't peel off or anything like that. And I think we tacked it down. I don't even remember how we put it down. It's in the video that I made about the coop, but we probably tacked it. No, you know what? I don't know how we put it down because we didn't want to put nail holes in it or anything. So I think we just kind of laid it down and then put this on the sides and tack that in, screw that in. Anyways, Iris is just having a conniption about my clean. Iris, it's okay, honey, it's okay. Which is so funny because she is the one chicken I have that I can't pick up. And I picked her up and carried her out of here like 3 times when I was cleaning. So she's the shy one. But anyways, she's getting upset. Anyway, so I'm gonna let this dry a minute. I'll put the bedding back in and I'll check in again. Oops, excuse me. Put the bedding back in and I'll check in again. I have the food and the water down. I'm gonna clean those out before I put them up. The water goes back on here. The food gets hung up on there. And I'm gonna check on the nesting boxes right now. Okay, I'm checking on the nesting boxes. I think I am going to replace the nesting pads just since I'm doing everything. Then I can clean those out, wipe them out too. And so we got some nice eggs in here. I did notice in this one there's a wet spot here. And I think someone cracked an egg open and ate it. Or maybe there was a cracked egg and they ate it. That hasn't happened before, so kind of curious about that. But anyway, so I am going to, here, I'll just take these out so I can show you what my nesting box looks like. So there are 12 chickens in this coop here. So this is our nesting boxes, and we put the vinyl. Actually, what I got for these was peel and stick flooring of the vinyl. And so we put those in there, and then I just put these on top, and I sprinkle a little Saturday lime on those as well. So I'm gonna get those cleaned out right now. The nesting boxes are clean, the inside is dry, and so now I'm gonna put the bedding back in. Okay, so now I just put all the bags of bedding up in here. I'm gonna get up in here. I got my little cutter knife, cut them open and spread them, and then I'll put the lime and the zeolite down. Iris is now in the nesting box while I'm putting the bedding in. This is my last bag. I thought I would just show you how nicely this stuff spreads out. Dump this. And you just see how nice this stuff is. Spread out like that. All right, I did add one more bag. I just felt like I wanted to put a little bit more right under where the perches are. So I added, now it would be 7 bags in here. And now I'm just throwing some zeolite in here, and then it'll be the lime. All right, now I'm gonna sprinkle some lime. I also put it on the perches as well. Here's my lime. Iris is still in here hanging out. And then the chickens are gonna, you know, spread it around too. But sprinkle that around a little bit. The coop is clean and ready for winter, almost. I put the lime down, and I put some lime in their nesting boxes, and Iris is still patrolling here, and Daisy. Nope, it's Blossom. And I put the oyster shell back, the grit back that I keep in here. Now I'm just gonna wash out their food container, and I'll fill that up for them yet. So that's what I do for this deep cleaning that I do twice a year, and it just works out so well in between. I'm really amazed about how clean it stays and how not smelly that it is, just by doing what I do with it, which is just taking out that layer underneath the perches in the morning, adding that lime probably once a month, refreshing when I need to add some more bedding in there, and then the deep clean twice a year. So super happy the way that this has turned out as far as our coop. Now I will be doing a couple more videos because it's going to be more winter prep coming up for the chickens. We're going to do some things in the run here to help them out a little bit more, and then the goats and the bunnies have to get ready for winter too. So I will catch you on those videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.